You can freeze a fight and describe every element, but can you name what the condition dictates? That gap between articulation and action is where most training stops. Here is why it matters. You do not choose responses. Conditions dictate them. This is the core insight that separates effective combatives from guesswork. The average martial artist treats combat as a series of choices. He throws a punch, you choose to block. She attempts a takedown, you choose to sprawl. That is the illusion of agency. When a specific set of elements, distance, timing, biomechanics, arranges in a specific way, the range of viable responses is not infinite. It is narrow, precise, and determined by the elements themselves. Are you within striking distance? If no, the condition prohibits striking, not because it is a bad choice, but because you cannot execute a strike that reaches its target. Are you within blocking distance? If no, you cannot intercept what you cannot reach. These are not decisions. They are discoveries. The condition reveals the appropriate action or non-action. Your job is to read what it shows you. There are two ways to encounter combative conditions. They are not the same. The expert mechanic earns a black belt with a white stripe by mastering physical mechanics through the full curriculum. They pressure test those mechanics against resisting partners under isolated conditions, then variable conditions, then random conditions. They build pattern recognition through thousands of repetitions. They respond correctly because they have seen this before. The scientific combatant earns a black belt with a red stripe by doing everything the expert mechanic does, plus acquiring the complete elemental framework. They can name the 6 categories of elements, understand the subcategories, and internalize the cause-effect relationships that govern combative interaction. They diagnose combative conditions rather than recognize them. Under familiar conditions, both succeed. Under novel conditions, only one diagnoses. Return to your frozen frame. Both participants engaged, elements arranged. Now ask yourself what the condition dictates, not what the elements are. Consider distance. Are the participants in kicking range, punching range, or clinch range? Each distance prohibits certain responses and dictates others. If you are in kicking range, you cannot execute a close-quarters elbow. If you are in clinch range, a roundhouse kick is mechanically inefficient. Consider timing. Is the opponent in the middle of a committed strike? That condition dictates a counter, not a block. Is the opponent recovering from a missed technique? That condition dictates pursuit. The elements do not suggest a response. They mandate it. Your job is to see the arrangement and let it tell you what to do. Do not guess. Do not choose. Read the condition and execute what it demands. The expert mechanic responds correctly because they have seen this configuration before. That is pattern recognition. It is effective under familiar conditions. But when the configuration shifts, when the opponent uses an unusual angle, a different timing, or a novel combination, pattern recognition fails. The scientific combatant responds correctly because they understand what they are seeing. They diagnose the elemental arrangement. They can tell you the distance zone, the timing ratio, the biomechanical path, the processing stage. This is not faster. It is not slower. It is fundamentally different. One relies on memory. The other relies on understanding. Under novel conditions, memory offers no guidance. Understanding offers a framework for analysis. You can still determine what the condition dictates even if you have never seen that exact configuration before. That is the difference between a mechanic and a combatant. Start now. Freeze a frame from any engagement, a fight video, a sparring round, a competition match. Do not ask what technique you see. Ask what the condition dictates. Identify the distance zone. Is it kicking, punching, or clinch? Identify the timing. Is the opponent committed, recovering, or setting up? Identify the biomechanics. Are they loaded on their front foot or back foot? Each element narrows the range of viable responses. Write down what the condition tells you. Then watch the next 5 seconds to see if the response matched the dictation. You will find mismatches. You will find correct responses you did not predict. Each mismatch teaches you something about the elements you missed. This is not theory. This is a diagnostic drill. Do it daily. Build your ability to read conditions, not just recognize patterns. Stop choosing responses. Start reading conditions. The gap between articulation and action closes when you learn what the condition dictates and execute without hesitation.